Yo, what's going on, guys? Houston Sports Talk Productions back with another video today. And we're going to be talking a little about the Texans because we are 12 days. We are officially 2 weeks away until teams can meet with players, and we are 12 days away from when teams can meet with players in the NFL, and then we are 2 weeks until free agency starts. So the Texans are not too good, and they're in a rebuild. Their best player wants out, so we're pretty screwed. But there's a way to not make him want to leave. We can contract this, and that's the reason you have to do that is. We have to probably sign some players to make him want to think this team has a chance, and not to do that. You have to get some really good players. So now, let's get into that. So starting with running back, Texans re-signed David Johnson. David Johnson was the running back. He was pretty much trash. He only, for the first 13 games of the season, he only had 2 good games. But last 3 games, he actually started to play okay football. He was running the football good. He was catching the football good. He looked like a different player out there. But that doesn't mean different. He was still really bad. So, as a standpoint, as a running back, I think they should maybe try to give him another shot, but we tried to Duke Johnson behind David. So to get a backup running back, I'd like to pick up James White. He's in the top 100 free agents on the list. They have him as 100. He totally missed Tom Brady. They think he may go to Tampa because he missed Tom Brady so much. He wasn't the same without Tom. But I thought he was a little bit decent. Still with Cam Newton. Sorry for that little blurry stuff, guys. I don't know why my green screen's acting up. But I'm just not showing my face so y'all can see this full thing for a video. Sorry about that. But James White would be a great pickup. We maybe not be the worst running team in the NFL. We'd still be pretty bad at the running game, but it would be better. But anyways, then. As of point, what we need to do after that is we need to pick up a quarterback. And I know you have Deshaun Watson. And think about this. First, we released Josh McCown. AJ McCarron's a free agent. Deshaun wants out. So if Deshaun gets traded, let's just say Deshaun. Houston says, okay, we're not trading him. Who's going to play quarterback? So, Houston says, we're not trading him. And Houston said, and then Deshaun says, well, I'm not playing. Then what happens? Simply, what happens then is you need to sign up a backup quarterback for when Deshaun wants to come out of I'm not playing, because Deshaun's a great player. He's not going to just say, oh, well, I'm not playing. So as of a backup quarterback, I would sign Jacoby Brissett. He has experience as a starter. Other options are Tyrod Taylor, Cam Newton, Mitchell Trubisky, but I don't think he is a backup starter. He's a starter. But it comes down to Cam Newton, maybe even Jameson Winston, but I don't think we have the money to bring him in. But Cam Newton, Tyrod Taylor, and Jacoby Brissett. But the Texans have a lot of cap space because they released Duke Johnson, J.J. Watt, Nick Martin, who has a lot of money in the tank. They've been waiving a bunch of players, so I wonder if it's just they don't want them on their roster or if they're trying to play in something big for free agency. It's not that we can't sign players. It's that players don't want to come here. Players don't want to come here because our franchise is screwed. Our owner is a rude little whiny pants. But moving on from that, next what the Houston Texans should do is, we're pretty strong on the tight end position. We got Darren Fells. We got Jordan Akins, who is not that really healthy. And Darren Fells is starting to age. Darren Fells is a great player. He was not good at the end of the season, but he's starting to age, and it's starting to be like, okay, well, I think we should cut him at this point. And we have Pharaoh Brown. He's a decent tight end. I like Pharaoh Brown, but I think we should sign Gerald Everett. This would be a good signing. He's a good tight end. The thing about him is I would think he'd be okay up to signing with Houston because, he's a good tight end, but he's played with Cincy, so he knows how to lose. He would take the chance of, if it meant he could play with Deshaun, this dude will sign a 1-year contract and a chance of having to play with Deshaun. The free agents got to understand that if Deshaun gets traded, so if Deshaun doesn't get traded, you get to play with Deshaun the Hell Watson. If Deshaun does get traded, you're going to still play with a good quarterback because you're just not going to get crap for Deshaun Watson. So there's no reason not to sign with Houston because you're still going to be playing with a good quarterback. You just don't know who it's going to be. And, I'll be honest, that's still a bad reason. That's still a really, really good reason not to sign with Houston. You need to know who you're going to be getting the ball from. But this point of it, you're still going to be playing with a good quarterback. You may not be winning a championship, but they're going to be a decent team. They're going to be a competitive team with the quarterback you have. It's truly facts. It's going to be a competitive football team. It's just that. It's simple facts for this team because with the quarterback, it's either going to be Deshaun Watson, one of the 8th to 1st overall pick quarterback, or it can be someone like I don't know. I couldn't even be. I wouldn't be surprised if the Texans went after Russell Wilson. I don't know. You could go after. You can go after the 1st overall pick, which is likely not. You can go after the 2nd and 3rd pick and try to get Justin Fields, which would probably be Trey Lance. Or you can pick up, what's his name, from Alabama. But you need a quarterback. Simple as that. But the next player is if we want to try to keep Deshaun in, we need some receivers. Now, Deshaun's relationship with Brandon Cooks is absolutely amazing. They were cooking it in the last two games. They were cooking it even before. The man had 2,000 receiving yards. The last game of the season, he was just absolutely on fire on the field. But Deshaun Maine I'm not going to even say probably, he wants more receivers than that. So I'm just going to say it. Texans should sign Sammy Watkins out of Kansas City. I don't think there's any way this man leaves, but this would be a good pickup. He hasn't been that really happy in Kansas City, so Sammy Watkins would be a great addition. I'm not sure if he'd be a number 1 or number 2 receiver. But then you'd have Cooks and Sammy as the number 2 receivers, and then you'd have Cobb, which would be a good receiver set. It's kind of like Because we know Will Fuller's gone. He ain't coming back. And next but not least, I don't have any defensive players that the Texans can sign because there's not a lot of money to spend after that. You got Sammy, you got Jared Alvert, James White, Jacoby Brissett. So that's probably it after that. But maybe I would hope Houston could pick up some defensive players, which would be nice because the defense is pretty trash. But it would be nice if we, I don't know. But those are my free agency ideas for the Texans. Jacoby Brissett, Gerald Everett, Sammy Watkins, James White, and maybe some additional defensive players to help the defense. I will be covering NFL free agency probably daily. It's going on for 10 days, March 17th. No, 8 days, sorry. March 17th to March 25th. So we'll see what happens. Keep on for that. Can't wait 2 weeks. 2 weeks from today. Rockets play in about 20 minutes. So I'm going to go watch that. Make a video. I'll be making a video later today. Peace out, guys. Have a good night.